All right. Well, let's move on to this next news story. This next news story is comes to us from IGN, written by Wesley Yinpool. Full next-gen Xbox reportedly set for 2027. Xbox-branded gaming handheld due out later in 2025. A new report has outlined Microsoft's video game hardware ambition, alleging a full next-gen Xbox is set for 2027, and an Xbox-branded gaming handheld is due out later in 2025. Windows Central reported on a partner PC gaming handheld codenamed Keenan, which is apparently in the works for late 2025, and a successor to the Xbox Series X and S now fully in production, due out in 2 years. Microsoft has yet to comment on the report. However, its gaming executives have spoken publicly about both devices in vague terms across various interviews. In January, Jason Ronald, Microsoft's VP of Next Generation, told The Verge that the company plans to combine Xbox and Windows experiences together for PC gaming handhelds made by original equipment manufacturers, otherwise known as third-party hardware manufacturers. Existing PC gaming OEMs include Asus, Lenovo, and Razer. Keenan does not relate to a first-party Xbox handheld, which Microsoft Gaming Phil Spencer recently indicated is years away. As for the next-gen Xbox, Windows Central said it is fully greenlit by Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella. The console is reportedly a premium successor to the Xbox Series X, and this console, alongside a first-party Xbox gaming handheld and new controllers, are set to round out Microsoft's console offerings in 2027. The suggestion then is Microsoft does not plan to release a direct next-gen successor to the less powerful Xbox Series S. Perhaps Microsoft expects its handheld to occupy the cheaper, less powerful console space. Windows Central expects the next-gen Xbox will be more like a PC than any Xbox before it, and will support third-party storefronts such as Steam, the Epic Game Store, and GOG. Continued backwards compatibility is a given. Last year, Xbox President Sarah Bond said Microsoft was moving full speed ahead in our next generation hardware, focusing on delivering the biggest technological leap ever in a generation. There's a little bit more of that article, but that's the gist of it. Caleb, how are you feeling about this? We are 5 years into this gen. This is due out supposedly in 2027, so after 7 years. You think we're about due for an Xbox? I guess first, do you own an Xbox?
I own an Xbox One, the original VHS looking one.
Wow. For some reason, I thought you had like a Series S or X or something. Crazy.
No,
you mostly do PC. Yeah, you mostly do PC, huh? Crazy.
Yeah, I've thought about it a couple of times, and I'm just like, there's nothing really for me that it could do better than my PC. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I would rather put money towards that than get a console. And so I have not bought a console this generation. Except for I bought a Switch.
You're not missing out on much. Not missing out. Both PlayStation and Xbox. Basically. Not a lot going on. We're 5 years in, nothing going on.
Yeah.
My PlayStation 5 has only played like 2 games on it pretty much since I bought it. I'm sure there's been more than that realistically, but 2 games that I even can remember, honestly, like God of War Ragnarok and Astrobot. Yeah. I maybe fired up Death Stranding Director's Cut for like a hot minute and then never finished it. Isn't that crazy? Elden Ring. I forgot. I got Elden Ring on PlayStation. But still, it's crazy to me. And not to say there isn't more there's PlayStation exclusives I haven't had a chance to play yet, but that more comes down to monetarily, budget wise, not being able to afford those games. But I don't know. In the past, that was my daily driver, my PlayStation. That's all I played. So it's crazy to me in the last 5 years how I've gone from, PlayStation or die to, well, if I can get it on Steam, I can play it on my PC at home or on my Steam Deck on the go. Why would I buy it on PlayStation when I can take it on an airplane with me,
Right.
But I don't know. I love, and my setup is not ideal. I used to have a living room where my PlayStation was set up. Now in our living situation since 2021, living with my in-laws is, we do no longer have a living room. It's kind of like it's set up here in my office, and it's like, okay, I gotta literally leave my house and walk down to a barn outside of a gate you know, like it's like a process. I don't just stumble in the living room and play games. It's like I have to leave the house and walk down here and unlock my office and set everything up, turn the lights on. I'm like, okay, at that point, I'm ready to go to bed. It's nap time. But have you mostly been PC gaming then, probably for like the last few years? Like, I mean, if your last console was the Xbox One, it's been a while, like 10 years. Like it's been a while for you.
So I bought a PC in 2021. And before that I bought my Xbox in like I think 2015 because Destiny they dropped 360, and so I had to get a new console.
Oh, okay.
And so because I was on a 360 beforehand, and I had that, and it's great. It still works. We mostly use it to watch TVs and Blu-rays and stuff like that now. And I played a bunch on it, but I have switched pretty much exclusively to my PC or my Switch now. So
one thing with the Xboxes too, and what I was trying to hit at before when I was talking about my PlayStation 2 is like, it's hard to, like, even though I don't play my PlayStation often, I couldn't imagine not having it because, well, up until recently, I guess, that was the only place to play PlayStation exclusives. Now, even those are coming to PC. But that was my argument with Xbox before, is like, why would I buy an Xbox when it's coming day one to Game Pass on PC? Like, I can just spend, like, I don't have a current Game Pass subscription, but when there's a game I do want to play, it's like I spend $10 and I can play for a month and then I cancel it. And like, that's it. Like, it's great. I don't have to go out and buy a new console. I don't have to spend $70 on the game. I can just play on my PC. And then when I'm happy and content with it, with what I played, I move on. It's just so easy. So I don't know, this console, like they said, needs to be like revolutionary, which I don't know how they're going to do it. Making it a PC, if they can make it an affordable PC, like they're saying, basically, like, hey, this is a PC you put in your living room, like it's compact, it's easy to use, like an easy to use, like dumbed down version of Windows on it. That's just like, it's basically, it's a game console. It's going to run like an Xbox, but it's running Windows. So then Steam, GOG, all these other things, like, you know what? Good on them. Like, that actually sounds sick. Because people will do that. They'll build a specific PC for their living room, you know, so that way they can have like high-end gaming, or just to be able to access Steam games without having to go sit in an office. They can sit on their couch and play. So if that's the case, if they can give me like access to kind of like how I view my Steam Deck right now, like, oh, I can play my games on the go. If it's just one more place to make it easier to play my PC games than sitting at a desk playing games, I'm not against it. That actually sounds sick.
100%.
Especially
100%.
With the hundreds of games that I have untouched in my Steam library. I forget where there was something online where you're able to like type in your name and it like scans your profile and tells you like all the games and like basically how much you've spent and how little you've played the games. And it was embarrassing. I was like, oh no, oh my gosh, this is not good. This was so wrong. And then a handheld, I don't know, like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, is there even a place for that? Like, because if their console is just becoming a PC, then what's the difference between this, like their handheld, and what the Steam Deck is already doing? Other than you can't play Game Pass on the Steam Deck, but why not just add why not just add Steam Deck support? You know, like, I don't know.
I think, I agree. I think it's kind of cool as just like another one of those, you know, like in the same space as Steam Deck and Asus and whatnot, and ROG with like those different like handhelds and such. I think, I don't know, an Xbox One is, I don't know, it's kind of cool, especially if it like also plays your Xbox games and stuff like that. As well. A little bit more competition, you know.
I guess I just hope it actually plays Xbox games natively, because my fear is like they're going to put it out and it's just going to stream Game Pass, which is what everything else does. And it's like, no, if you're going to make an Xbox handheld, make it play games natively. I know PlayStation isn't doing that, but we're all pissed off at PlayStation too. Like they put out the PlayStation Portal and it just streams games. Like, are you kidding me? Like, no, like, come on, come on. We want real handheld devices. If you want to compete with the likes of the Nintendo Switch and upcoming Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever they're calling it, then put out a real freaking handheld. Don't put out like a streaming box that you can play in your hands. Like that's not realistic. Not everyone is only using this in their home where there's Wi-Fi. Like people like myself, I use my Steam Deck on the plane. Like that's like my favorite travel thing, or like, or just wherever I am, I'm out and about, pull out my Steam Deck. It's like, okay, I can play that thing anywhere. But so to be able to natively play an Xbox game on a handheld device sounds sick, but I'm just afraid that's not the case. It's just going to turn into, it is just a mini PC. It's basically an ROG Ally, but with like native Xbox support or something like that. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see, but
I feel like that's still like not a terrible idea for a product. Like if it does like have all your games from Xbox on it, and I feel like it more than likely, I would guess that it would be able to play them natively rather than stream it because it's portable and you want your games to be downloaded on there and whatnot.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Got a couple more years to enjoy what we have. I guess my next question is PlayStation looking at and putting something out sooner than later? Like I would assume so. They're usually pretty close together, their releases, but to me it just seems crazy for either one of them to be moving on with just how this generation has gone. Like and me and Adrian have talked about this on previous shows. Like we both have said we feel like they came out with a PS5 Pro, right? But no, who is complaining about the PS5 at this point? Like, I remember with like my PS4, like when they announced the PS4 Pro, I'm like, yeah, this makes sense. Because my PS4 sounds like a freaking jet engine. Like it is struggling. Like I could cook eggs on the top of it. Like it would get like, it was overheating, like borderline dying, like struggling. It would get to the point where it's just like screaming for help. Please put me out of my misery, trying to play the freaking like The Last of Us 2 and stuff like that. But my PlayStation, I don't play it a ton, but the games I do play are like, I've played a couple like bigger games. Like I even think of like Ragnarok or I don't know. There was something else I tried recently, some demo for an upcoming game. But it's, it was a gorgeous game, big game. And I don't like the fans are so quiet. They hardly even kick on, or you can't even note it. Like, and which is good. I mean, maybe they're running at full speed and that's just the technology is that good and I don't notice, but I don't know. I've never noticed any sort of like hitching or anything like that in a game, or like where something is like, ooh, yep, that's taking a little longer to load, or like even touch my PlayStation, it's like 100 degrees and burns my finger or something. Like that was the thing with my PlayStation 4. Like, I was like, you'd touch it and be like, ooh, hot. Like that would hurt your finger. So I don't know. To me, it almost comes across like, oh, there's more you can push the PS5. Why are we already jumping to a 5 Pro when we've barely, and then in 2 years, possibly moving to a 6 when we're barely pushing the envelope here, other than just to make, other than it's just a cash grab, make more money. But I don't know. Who knows? I guess we'll find out soon enough. Thank you so much for watching that clip from our podcast. Remember, if you want to watch the whole episode, the full episode, link will be in the description below. You can click on that and check it out. We got listener questions. We got more news segments. We got what you playing. We got a lot of fun things. So more than just the news. There's a lot more to the show that you should go check out. So remember, click that link in the description. Check out that full episode.